It's kind of, intensifying. It's getting a little bit stronger. So this is just north and northeast of Duke, about 7 miles off to the west of Martha. Anyone in Martha, near Martha, first of all, don't be out here. You got to seek shelter right now. This tornado is gathering strength. It's strengthening up, clearly on the ground. There it is. There it is. You're watching it live. Really hard to see debris from our location right now, but it is strengthening big time, Mike.
Aaron, appreciate that. We're going to go over to Mark Dillard here. So we basically have this is the same supercell here with two views of the tornado here down by Martha in southwestern Oklahoma, and the tornado is increasing in size. Go, Mark Dillard.
Yes, Mike. The rain curtains kind of parted there, and that tornado, kind of a central cone, finally came down to the ground. Looks like it might be lifting a little bit. The actual funnel itself, not to say that it couldn't still be in contact with the ground, but it just does not have condensation all the way down to the ground. The funnel started to lift a little bit. But nonetheless, folks, increasing situation for tornadic activity here in southwest Oklahoma. This thing literally went up, 30 minutes ago, Kevin? Kevin Cosby here with me today. And now it looks like it's coming back in contact with the ground. It is basically kind of a very elephant trunk, basically funnel coming all the way back in contact with the ground, Mike. You can see it. We're roughly, I'd probably put us 4 or 5 miles to the west of that. We are on the west side of Altus at County Road 201 and 163 looking at this. We're going to be south of Martha, Mike, so we're going to continue to track this thing as it continues up to the northeast. Back to you.
Mark Dillard, appreciate that. Look at it going through, it might be the rope stage right here where it goes into a rope and starts to twist like a rope twisting. Looks like it's trying to go into a rope stage right here. Same tornado. Two of our many trackers out today. Our goal is that everybody in Oklahoma is aware there's an elevated threat for severe weather and tornadoes and really big hail. Let's go back to Aaron Brackett here. Still looks like it tried to rope out, Aaron, but it certainly may not be done yet as far as this particular cycle of this supercell. It's still a substantial tornado.
Yeah, Mike, it's 100% back. You're looking at it live right now. Let's zoom in on that just a little bit. We'll get you a closer look. It's back on the ground. Pretty good elephant trunk style tornado, kind of narrows at the bottom. We're still a decent, safe distance away from it. Of course, safety is the primary concern, but we're getting you the live look of it. We really haven't had to move. I'll tell you that much. We're still just about 5 miles north and about 3 miles east of the town of Duke right now, looking directly off to the west. Okay, so that's the position that we're looking. Tornado's still on the ground. The storm was moving quite a bit. It's kind of anchored. It's kind of rooted down. It's anchored. So it's sitting kind of in the same place right now. But, tornado, very strong, shows no signs of weakening, rain curtains going around it, and it's just absolutely grinding and drilling almost the same area right now, Mike.
Aaron Brackett, appreciate that. Remarkable pictures here. So if you're just joining us here on News Channel 4, there are several things that we want you to know at this juncture. First of all, there is a high risk for portions of Oklahoma. There's a moderate risk for most of the western half of the state, including the Oklahoma City metro area. The high risk is just to the west and northwest of the metro. We've had a tornado here basically virtually continuously now for about 25 minutes down to the northwest and north of Altus and to the west-northwest of Altus. You're looking at it live here. We've got a couple of trackers and Bob Moore Chopper 4 on this right now. It tried to go through a little rope stage and it tried to cycle and weaken, but it threw that away and it went, it's trying to rope out as you see live right here. And it may rope out and it may go away or it may not. These mesocyclones today are really powerful. They have a lot of energy, and there it is going through a rope stage right now. Look at it roping out here. Amazing pictures from one of our trackers here, Aaron Brackett. We've got Mark Dillard on it as well. Feel free to two-box that if you would like, and look at that. It's roping out right now. Let's go to Aaron Brackett with an update. Aaron?
That's the incredible thing about today. We had one, the first tornado touchdown of this storm was about 15 minutes ago. It's on the ground, it roped out. You just saw it live. It roped out real quick. So, that does not mean the threat is over. It by no way means the threat is over. The base is pretty high in this thing. It's a very, unfortunately, a picturesque tornado, or fortunately, you can see it coming. But earlier it was wrapped in rain, and when it redeveloped, Mike, it was wrapped in rain. So we still have lots of rain curtains. You're seeing those live on our stream. Lots of motion out there. I see lots of rising scud. I give it about 2 or 3 minutes, and this thing will be back on the ground at the most. Actually, it looks like, you know what? We got something reforming here. It looks like could be a little bit closer to us. Looks like it's reforming. The scud's really starting to rise, almost a horizontal tube. Yep, we got a horizontal tube forming right in front of us, 7 miles due west of Martha. Mike, it's just a couple seconds. We might have something on the ground here once again.
Yep, appreciate that, Aaron Brackett. Mark Dillard here, Aaron Brackett's stream here. This is down in Jackson County. Let's go ahead and back out of this for the time being. Let me show you, give you an update as to what's going on right now. Here's the PDS Tornado Watch Max 2, and this is in effect until 8 o'clock. One tornado warning for that storm you saw. That's the same storm, two different views from two different of our trackers. This is down in northern Jackson County and southern Greer County and far western Kiowa County. The PDS Tornado Watch is in effect until 8 o'clock. PDS, particularly dangerous situation, meaning damaging tornadoes are possible and in the forecast today, as well as a tornado outbreak also in the forecast for today. That's the forecast. Ahead of this line of storms that are really going up here, really vigorously here in western Oklahoma, is the air mass is very unstable. It's really warm and muggy outside, and that's a lot of energy for these to continue to truck out of western Oklahoma as we head through the 3, 4, and 5 o'clock hour. Another supercell down by El Dorado right now. That's approaching El Dorado. You folks in El Dorado, heads up for you. That is a supercell with a developing hook. It is also starting to lean and turn a little more to the right. And the tornadic supercell here just coming across the Greer-Jackson County line right now. So two supercells here, one about to come into southwestern Oklahoma and the other one just now crossing from Jackson County into Greer County right now to the west of Martha, about 6 to 7 miles currently. The metro, of course, is right up here. Let's go to the storm tracker and take a look at the storm projection here. So it may be a little bit more northeasterly now since the tornado has lifted, but it's still going to be in the immediate Martha and Blair area, and then there up toward Lugert Lake. Lugert Lake there at about 240. For you folks in the Lugert Lake area, it's 220 right now. Let's go back over to Max 3, and let's kind of walk around the state here. So here's this huge supercell, another supercell coming into the El Dorado area, starting to turn to the right. Let's push on up into west central Oklahoma. Of course, we've got 3 of our many teams of trackers that we have out today there on the edge of your screen. So there's the supercell near Mangum, south of Mangum right now. The hook is starting to diminish. Let's look at the velocity in that. And the velocities came down a fair amount from the earlier tornadic velocities that we had that you're looking at live. Yeah, the velocities have really diminished in it for the time being, but it'll likely cycle. Supercells go through a cycle. They breathe up, and they breathe back down again. And you can see, looking at the velocity signature, what it looked like on the velocities, showing the tornado there. And now the tornado roped out and is in the process of lifting right now. Let's go back to the intensities here, and let's look at west central Oklahoma. West central Oklahoma, there are storms starting to form out by Vici right now in the western parts of our state. 2 supercells here, and also developing rotation now southwest of Carter. There's heavy rain coming into Elk City and likely some large hail. So let's look at the hail sizes on this, Damien. Very heavy rain, the tornado damaged track right now, and developing large hail. And this hail's really coming up fast, and this could easily go to golf ball or tennis ball size in a really big hurry for you folks in Elk City and in Sayre. Beckham County here, really big hail. Go ahead and loop that. Really big, yes, really big hail going up very, very fast. And there is rotation now southwest of Carter. Let's go back to the intensity levels here, Damien. Let's take a look at the Vici area for you folks in Roger Mills County and also Dewey County. Storms are also going up there. So go ahead and push on off to the north here.
Golf balls southeast of.
Golf balls where?
Southeast of Mangum.
Golf balls southeast of Mangum right now with that supercell. These are developing supercells here as well. We're talking about Cheyenne, Arnett, Durham, the Antelope Hills out here in Ellis and Roger Mills County. Let's push on up a little bit more. You may want to switch radars here as we look at the western parts of the state. Here's Vici, Camargo, and Leedy. These have some mid-level developing rotation to them right now. As they also move to the northeast and the northeast back down to the supercell. Let's go ahead and check out that supercell down there south of Mangum right now, and let's get an update. First of all, let's go over to Aaron Brackett on this live here. Aaron, what do you see?
Yeah, Mike, still in the same place, directly in between Duke and Martha. This time now we're facing off to the north. Still, a little bit of a wall cloud has become disorganized a little bit more right now. I mean, we had that fairly significant tornado on the ground for a good amount of time, but now it's kind of recycling up, looking at radar, not seeing too much immediately. The other threat here, I mean, there's going to be massive hail with this. So Mangum, Granite, Lone Wolf areas Blair, look out for that. There's going to be massive hail out ahead of this thing. But we're basically right here in the mesocyclone. We're looking up, keeping ourselves safe, looking ahead, keeping everyone else safe here. But still, take your tornado precautions. You're out ahead of this thing. It's going to ramp up. And last few times it did it, rather. You watched it live right here on News Channel 4, and it only took about 15 to 20 seconds to do so. So even though the base looks high off the ground, our dew points are so high. There's so much moisture and energy. I mean, these things are coming down very, very quickly. So that's not only a sign for folks near this supercell to look out, it's really kind of a warning for the entire day. We're in such an unstable atmosphere. Any supercell today is going to do the same thing.
Aaron Brackett, appreciate that. So it looks like the tornado has indeed lifted for right now. That's very good news. So let's go ahead and go over to the storm tracker. And we're basically watching a forecasted outbreak of severe weather and forecasted outbreak of tornadoes, including damaging tornadoes, quite possibly beginning in western and southwestern Oklahoma. So just to point out here, there's large hail forming south of Eric, just to the south of Sayre, just to the south side of Elk City. A lot of heavy rain developing, large hail in and around the tornado damage track from day before yesterday. There is some rotation now to the southwest of Carter and to the south of Sayre. Let me tell you, these thunderstorms today, the mesocyclone spin up really, really fast, and there could be tornadoes with very little advance warning, and that's why it's so important to stay alert, stay weather-wise, stay forewarned as severe weather approaches your area. So large hail, damaging winds, still the potential of tornadic activity. Mangum, Blair, up toward Granite, Lugert Lake. This is southwestern Oklahoma here, and then up toward Hobart.
Maybe a lowering again.
Another lowering reforming. Looks like it is cycling now. You folks in Mangum, this is getting really serious. Mangum, it's getting really, really serious. The storm now is lifted. Now the tornado's off the ground. The storm's lifted just about due northward, and that's really getting Mangum much, much closer to the red line, center line. Let's go back over to the best stream that we have. Let's go to Mark Dillard live here. Mark?
Yes, Mike. We're just continuing to watch this wall cloud here. And we are northwest of Altus by about 5 miles. We're looking off to our north and west. And you can see it there as that scud begins to lift in and turn. That could be a developing funnel if it really got going. Still a little ragged, but the wall cloud has basically kind of enclosed itself, Mike, kind of pulled back in a little bit, if you will. We're continuing to watch it, but we've already had several tornado touchdowns out here by Duke. I urge folks in southwest Oklahoma to stay vigilant and weather aware. Back to you, Mike.
Okay, rotation is increasing quickly. Cone funnel now south of Mangum, and there it is. You see it right there. Let's go over to Aaron Brackett here live. Aaron?
Yeah, Mike, that wall cloud's really reorganizing once again. It's got a lot of inflow coming into it. It's lowered itself in the last 30 seconds. We're actually heading back toward Martha. We're about 6 miles west of Martha, heading off to the east now, and we're going to watch this thing as it continues tracking north. I mean, just as Mark Dillard said, prolific tornado producer, each time it did it, the thing would come in contact with the ground in a matter of seconds, even though it was relatively high base at the time. So looks like it is reforming here at the ground level. You're watching it on rapid scan Doppler radar back there, and what we're seeing here at the ground, it is kind of not only a cycling, but a reorganization of the entire supercell. So I think we got to watch this real carefully.
Okay, Aaron, appreciate that. Let's go ahead and go over to the storm tracker here. And a couple of things here to note on the storm tracker. There are severe storms forming rather quickly in Beckham County, south of Sayre and south of Elk City, and there's heavy rain in Elk City. And there go the severe thunderstorm warnings from the National Weather Service on that, showing golf ball to tennis ball size hail. There is a little rotation there southwest of Carter. So just to be clear, these supercells form so fast, and if you're watching us for the past hour or so, you know how quickly that tornado formed down by Duke, and there's a report of one house damaged. Was at 3 north of Duke. Damage to one house 3 north of Duke, and a developing situation here for the Mangum area. So Mangum at 2:33, it's now 2:25. So in 8 minutes from right now, Hester, City View, Granite 251. So, but definitely a developing situation for the Mangum area. Huge hail. Let's go over to Max 3 and take a look at the motion here. And you can see the tornado hook there and debris ball. Gradually has lifted, and the rotation now is reorganizing and trying to lift up into Mangum. It was turning to the right, and as soon as that tornado lifted, the whole thing basically jumped to the north. and it's going to be going right up on the southeastern sides of Mangum. There's very, very large hail on the eastern sides of Mangum and north through west of Blair. From there, it goes up across the lake, Lugert Lake, Granite, up toward the Lone Wolf area. Let's look at the velocities here and look at the wind inside of the storm. And you see the red and the green there. Let's go ahead and zoom on into that, and not seeing too much in the way of there's a small area, small tight area rotation there just on the eastern sides of Highway 34 to the south of Mangum. A small tight area of rotation. We had a little weak funnel there just a few minutes ago. That's likely what we're seeing on the wind velocity. Let's go ahead and push on up and take a look at these rotation areas up here in Beckham County.
West of Blair, new touchdown.
New touchdown due west of Blair right now. So areas of weak rotation but intensifying south of Sayre. You folks in Sayre, stay alert. Severe thunderstorm warning here and up through Elk City, stay alert. And the eastern sides of Eric, stay alert. Beckham County, stay alert. Very large hail, protect your property. Golf ball to tennis ball. Let's go back down. We're going to focus back in on that new area of rotation, but I want to focus in on the velocity on this supercell down by El Dorado. So let's go ahead and ease on back down to the south here as we head down toward El Dorado. Here it is right here. And that earlier had a tight area spin that is spun down, but the spin is still there, and it's just to the west-southwest of El Dorado. So that's going to head back up toward Duke, about the same track as this supercell that is now north of Duke. Let's go to the storm tracker here and kind of broaden this view out. So this big supercell continues, 4-inch diameter hail possible, up to 4-inch giant-size hail, softball-size hail with this supercell. Let's go back over to our team of trackers. Bob Moore Chopper 4 also is on this supercell. Let's get an update from Aaron Brackett. Go, Eric.
All right, Mike, heading back into Martha, we're going to catch a road, go north on this thing. It's gotten lower. It's gotten a lot lower here since we last spoke. It's just about,
We go north.
I'd say 8-9 miles due northwest of Martha. Raggedy wall clouds, gotten a lot lower, still rotation, very intense lightning, and just like you mentioned, the hail in this thing has got to be intense. It's got to be very intense with this mezzo. So folks out ahead of it, you got to take precautions, and from time to time we've seen this tornado become rain-wrapped, much like the Elk City tornado. It was rain-wrapped. It was very hard to see coming, if not impossible, and that's going to be the situation with this supercell. Mike?
Aaron, appreciate that very much. So let's go ahead and take a look at Max 3. And we're in between tornado cycles right now, although a cone-shaped funnel has been reported. The hook's really coming back up. Let's push on into that, Damien. Let's take a look. The hook is really coming back up right now. And this is a heads up for the southeastern sides of Mangum over toward Granite and Altus Lugert Lake. So let's go back to the intensity here and take a look. Altus Lugert Lake here. And the rotation here is starting to once again intensify on the southeastern sides of Mangum right now, and that's lifting to the northeast. If we have Mark Dillard, let's go to Mark Dillard here and check this out. Mark?
Yes, Mike, pulling into Martha right now. We're going to go north out of Martha and then catch the highway and then kind of veer back over towards it. Very, very dark off to my north and west from Martha. Martha, you're in the clear right now. We got another storm coming up out of El Dorado behind it. But, Mike, I do not have a funnel in contact with the ground from what I can see. I do have to warn folks the large hail off to the north and northeast of this in the very core of the storm is going to be huge. So I do urge you to take your hail precautions and your tornado precautions if you're in the path of the storm, especially the folks just to the east of Mangum and over toward the lake. Back to you, Mike.
Okay, Mark, appreciate that. So let's go to the storm tracker, kind of broaden this view out here just a little bit. So what we have going on is we have this tornadic supercell down here on the southeast side of Mangum right now, lifting to the northeast, 4-inch diameter hail there. And then we also have a supercell down here to the west of El Dorado, which has some stronger rotation with it right now. So that's a heads up for western Jackson County and southeastern Harmon County. And we have some areas of mid-level rotation, pretty good size hail here, Sayre, Elk City area, and we have some storms also going up in Roger Mills County that are also going severe right now. They're in the Antelope Hills area, Durham and Roll, and south of Arnett and west of Visay. So far, this is all in western Oklahoma. The metro is right here, so still a fair amount out. It's 2:30 right now, unless storms form ahead of this line, which may not happen, at least until these come on in this direction. It's going to be at least another hour and a half to 2 hours away from affecting the western sides of the metro area. Let's go back to Aaron Brackett now with an update. Aaron?
All right, Mike, in the town of Martha right now, getting ready to head off to the north. Just like Mark Dillard said, good news for Martha. You missed both the hail and the tornado, the multiple tornadoes that you saw live here on News Channel 4. You missed them. Folks still out ahead of this need to definitely take their tornado precautions. We saw it quickly produce a tornado. Massive, massive hail with this thing. The mesocyclone is really, really cranking. So folks got to watch out for that. Very, very dangerous situation. We're going to be right on top of it here, getting ready to turn north out of Martha. Mike.
Aaron, appreciate that. Let's go back over to the quad box here. We've got a lot of storm trackers out today. We're going to give you an overview here as to what you can expect as we head deeper into the afternoon hours. Bob Moore Chopper 4, of course, out as well. We have a PDS tornado watch out. Let's go ahead and check that out on Max 2. So this is a large portion of central and western Oklahoma. PDS tornado watch in effect until 8 p.m. tonight for particularly dangerous situation and supercells in southwestern Oklahoma and developing in western Oklahoma right now. Quite a few severe thunderstorm warnings here for Ellis County, down into northern Roger Mills County, and then intensifying supercells with mid-level rotation, only mid-level rotation, not anything down near low yet. Elk City on down towards Sayre. That hail could be up to tennis ball size. Then we have a really large supercell here with a continued tornado warning. It does appear to be reorganizing very quickly and recycling. Now this is going to be traveling up toward Hobart and Cordell, and from there up toward I-40 near Weatherford and Bridgeport, Hydro, Hinton, and potentially El Reno later on this afternoon. These supercells on outbreak days can travel occasionally for hundreds of